Welcome to this video, where we're tackling one of the most crucial financial challenges of our time, inflation. Prices are rising, and it feels like your money is losing value every day. But there's good news. There are strategies you can use to protect yourself. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan to beat inflation. We'll illustrate this with a real-life example, the $1 McDonald's hamburger, and how it has changed in price over the years. Let's start by understanding what inflation is. Inflation refers to the rate which the prices of goods and services increase over time. It's the reason why the same amount of money buys you less than it used to. For example, in 2002, a McDonald's hamburger cost just $1. Fast forward to today, and that same hamburger costs around $2.79, depending on where you live. That's almost a 180% increase in just over 2 decades. Inflation can feel like a slow, creeping force, but over time, its impact is significant. This is why it's so important to have a strategy to protect your purchasing power. Let's dive into 3 powerful strategies that can help you stay ahead of inflation. One effective strategy to protect yourself from inflation is hedging. This means investing in assets that either hold their value or appreciate as inflation rises. Historically, gold has been one of the most reliable hedges against inflation. For instance, if you had purchased an ounce of gold in 2002, it would have cost you around $310. Today, that same ounce of gold is worth over $1,900. That's a return of more than 500%. By holding gold, you would have preserved and even increased your wealth. This far outpaces the inflation that raised the price of the hamburger. But gold isn't the only option. Real estate, inflation-protected bonds, and even certain stocks can serve as effective hedges. The key is to diversify your investments to protect against the risk of any single asset underperforming. Another key strategy is boosting your productivity. This involves increasing your income so that it grows faster than inflation. Let's consider an example. Suppose you earned $50,000 a year in 2002. If your salary increased at the rate of inflation, about 2 to 3% per year, you'd be making around $70,000 today. But if you focused on increasing your skills, switching to higher-paying jobs, or starting a side business, you might be earning $100,000 or more today. This extra income isn't just about having more money, it's about staying ahead of rising costs. By outpacing inflation with income growth, you maintain and even improve your standard of living despite the rising prices. Productivity isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter, continuously learning, and finding ways to add more value. A final approach to managing inflation's impact is controlling your consumption. This involves making conscious decisions about where and how you spend your money, particularly in an inflationary environment. Let's revisit our McDonald's hamburger example. If the price of a hamburger increases from $1 to $2.79 over 2 decades, it's clear that eating out frequently can become an expensive habit. Instead, consider preparing meals at home, which can save you money and be healthier. Another example is housing. If you rent, your rent likely increases every year, sometimes even outpacing inflation. By considering alternatives like purchasing a home, which can lock in your housing costs, or moving to a less expensive area, you can better manage your expenses. Controlling consumption doesn't mean depriving yourself, it means being strategic. By focusing on essential spending and cutting back on non-essential purchases, you can free up resources to invest or save, helping you stay financially resilient in the face of inflation. Now, let's bring this all together with a concrete example of how inflation impacts your wallet over time. Imagine that in 2002, you bought a McDonald's hamburger every day for $1. That would cost you $365 a year. Fast forward to 2024, and let's assume that the hamburger now costs $2.79. Your annual cost for that same daily hamburger would now be $1,018.35, almost 3 times what you paid in 2002. But let's take this a step further. If you had invested the money you spent on those hamburgers in gold instead, $365 per year at an average gold price, your investment could have grown significantly, potentially to over $10,000 by now. This starkly illustrates the power of protecting your purchasing power and making smart financial choices. Inflation is inevitable, but it doesn't have to erode your purchasing power. By implementing the strategies we've discussed, hedging, increasing productivity, and controlling consumption, you can protect your financial future and stay ahead of rising costs. Inflation is a reality we all face, but with the right strategies, you can protect yourself and even thrive in an inflationary environment. The strategies we've discussed give you a clear path. Hedge against inflation with smart investments, boost your productivity to increase your income, and control your consumption to ensure you're spending wisely. Remember, the key to financial resilience isn't just about earning more or cutting costs. It's about making informed decisions that align with your long-term goals. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more insights on managing your finances. Together, we can build a future where inflation doesn't dictate our financial well-being. Thanks for watching.